Welcome, everyone. Happy 2024. Let's hope for a happy, healthy, peaceful 2024. Let's call to order. Do I ask for a motion for that? I should know that by now. No, we're just calling to order. Okay. All right, approval of December minutes. Has everybody looked at them?
Yep. Yes.
Yes. Kathy's running a little late.
That's okay. I'll put what time she comes in when she comes.
Actually, she hasn't been feeling well.
Okay.
So I told her if she can't come in, no problem. Okay, but we'll get started without her. Can I have a motion to approve December minutes?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, executive report, Polly.
Okay, so I've handed it out to everybody there. I will make the print a little larger next time. I posted in here in November report, some of the goals I was working on, some of the thoughts I had, and I just wanted to update you on where we are. So I'll keep it kind of brief. So we have the monthly breakfast. It's been advertised in the flyer. The griddle has been ordered. And also I've set up an account with Big Y. So we need to run down to Big Y. We have our own COA customer charge card, which just makes it a lot easier to purchase things when we go down there for food. I have heard some interest for the event, but it's a little early for signups. The art classes, we've had two, this will be our second one. We've already had four people sign up. The last one in December was full, overfull. So that's looking good, but I'm still looking for an art instructor, like actually art lessons, how to draw. And I did get a call from Patricia, so we're working on
But
it.
you do have someone for this class.
Yes, and then Nancy Sosha offered to do it next week, and I'm still doing phone tag with Patricia.
Patricia.
Yeah. So I'm still looking for art instruction.
All right, and is there a limit for people to sign up for this January craft class?
No.
No limit.
Well, I mean, I guess I could say 10.
Okay.
Because then it's going to cost too much if we have to order that many dried flowers.
And can they call as late as a day before? Because some
No, I
have
put
to be
in,
ordered.
I put
Hi, Kathy.
a deadline, I believe in the newsletter, when to call.
Okay, oh, okay.
Yeah, so. And then I have a lead on someone doing dance classes. I just got that call yesterday, so I still have to, yesterday was a little busy. Contact and see what they're talking about and what kind of dance they're talking about. Tech support, we have Doug Wilbur, who we already have two people that signed up to come in for probably an hour.
Wonderful.
Yeah, very happy for the iPhone. He does other things, but the iPhone is his specialty. I've contacted Elder Services about offering another balance class this spring. I told them not in January, February, but maybe after March, do another one, because I've had a couple people mention they'd like to see another class. So that's in the works. We had our first, we had a congregate meal for the first time in a while yesterday. We had 6 people. Was it 6? I believe it was 6.
Including you and I.
Well, we count.
You count.
6 people. But then after I left, Chris got the whole, I think, bingo thing of people to sign up. So including with Chris and I going,
And I have 2 more added,
that's 14.
14.
I think Elder Services will be quite surprised. So if anybody wants to come Tuesday for lunch, I think it's chicken on a biscuit. No, it's pork.
It's the roast pork, yes.
Which is very good.
Which is very good,
That's a really good one.
yes.
So that's looking at Wednesday. It's too early to tell.
And you're not having it today, right?
No, I called in today and said we have nobody coming.
Okay.
And it may not happen, and we'll just give it some time.
What day, I'm sorry, what day is bingo day? Is that?
Tuesday. So we've got most of the bingo people coming next week.
It's Tuesdays and Wednesdays you're doing. right?
And again, Wednesdays, if it doesn't, we'll see how it goes with Wednesday. It just needs some time.
Okay.
Kathy, we briefly discussed the old crew that used to go.
Yes.
On Wednesdays.
Yep.
Perhaps maybe we'll get some of those to come back.
I'm just thinking, several of them have passed away. Gladys, Thelma, let me think, who else was there? Several have, unfortunately.
We get Jeff, Quirky Jeff on the bike through town.
Oh, right, Jeff, yes.
Yes, and we used to get Warren.
Yep, yeah, and they're still.
They're still
in town.
around, so I'm
Yep.
thinking folks like that.
I will
we
mention
may
it to both
get-
of them, because I see both of them.
Oh, great, because
So I
that
will
would be
mention it. It's-
an alternative to the crowded
Tuesday.
Tuesdays now.
Somebody did call yesterday about, and wrote down the menus for both days.
Okay,
So there could be, and it's just it's posted, so it's new. It's very.
right, so we still should advertise and be open to it.
Of course.
Because I think we'll get others interested in that for like the old days, reminiscing of the old days.
Yes.
And I've got JoJo to help with the dishes, because I made a mess yesterday while doing dishes. So, and if anybody on the board wishes to come,
I could help.
you could
Sure, I
help.
want to eat.
Oh, please. Please, the food is good. The food is good. Okay, Ron looking at me, and then he looks down. Okay. Onward.
Newsletter. So I want to thank Patrick White for quickly fixing what I did.
He's wonderful.
And he did a great job. It looks beautiful. Jack also came up with this lovely 2-page idea, which thank you. So we're working that out, but I do believe we definitely need to continue monthly newsletters, even though I had a January, February. I think that people just really need to have a monthly. So whether we go with the format, with the double page, or we go to a 2-page with, if you're going to mail out something with the stamp, you're going to pay for the stamp, you might as well have as much information as you can fit into it. So
Yeah,
we'll,
because the rate's going up.
And yes, the rate's going up.
yeah. So like I said, this is an ongoing thing of how we, how many to mail out over time. But right now, I think it's important that we get it out monthly. The ukulele, Monday, they did come back. We did have 2 people show up, and they brought their little therapy dog Dixie and sang along with the ukulele players. We served coffee, and we did have some desserts from Price Chopper, who was allowing me to pick it up on Sundays. I don't know how often I'm going to go on.
So now you're working on Sundays.
My husband goes, "You can do that every Sunday?" He goes, "You are, aren't you?" So, and they also provided the cake for dessert for the meal, which was nice. It's still in there too, so if you want some
It was
chocolate cake.
delicious.
It was good. It was
delicious. Chocolate cake.
Yeah, it was-
Chocolate frosting.
good.
It was yummy.
The Heaton Court congregate meal, I will be taking over the meal site there on Thursdays, which is also a kind of a dual purpose, to be there for Heaton Court residents if they want to get to know them, find out what they want at the senior center, and just to visit. Starting, not sure, I'll be there Thursday, but I'm assuming maybe next Thursday after I have a conversation. So, yeah, I was gonna,
After we,
find out which day I will actually be taking charge.
okay.
I think,
She's done. She didn't tell you that.
no. Oh,
Starting
I will be there
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Okay,
I
well, I was gonna be there tomorrow anyway.
thought she said she had told you.
No, no. Anyway. Okay,
Okay.
it's okay. I will be there. Foot nurse, we have a Lorianne, and sorry, her last name is still downstairs in my office. But I've met with her several times. She's gonna be meeting in my old office, well, it was not really my old office, upstairs, COA office, this month. And after that, we don't know. She might go in the gym. We're playing it by ear, but she is gonna be here every month. And she's very excited about it.
Third Wednesday of the
Yeah,
month.
third Wednesday of the month. And the only other thing I was asking about, I know you guys, I guess the board's going to continue to do the luncheons, maybe some speakers.
But we are changing them to quarterly rather than every month. I think now that we have the congregate meals for socialization and nourishment. And it seemed as though the monthlies were waning in our attendance. It was just, we weren't bringing in new people. We were mostly getting the same people. Perhaps that's the lecturers we had or whatever, but my opinion is I think it'll be more special if we do it quarterly.
I agree with Chris. And one of the things is now that we have a meal, if you get a couple meals, you can have someone do some, it doesn't have to be a big party. It could be someone coming from BRTA to talk about how to get disabled placards or something when they're having a congregate meal. So you can still have all kinds of talks, but then maybe save the special I shouldn't say special, they're all special. I say more entertaining speakers for the luncheons.
Right, right. And
So ideas are great. I guess we could all use some ideas on, I have a couple ideas.
great, you want to run Myers now?
But yeah, just go, thumbs down if you don't, I think, But you got to figure out what do people want, and I thought historical, they love.
We always get good attendance with
Yeah.
historical.
Absolutely, and I was thinking, I don't know, there's so much in history, but I know I'm attached to the Shaker Village, but you still could bring someone in and talk about the local Shaker history here in Stockbridge or medicinal herbs, how they used them and sold them in this area. Anything in that area, I could probably get somebody to come in and talk.
Actually, over a year ago for a spring luncheon, I wanted to get Hancock to come in with one of my neighbors works part-time there, for the baby chick.
I think I could get somebody to come in.
And come and bring some baby, little animals always attract.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
So maybe we could start gearing towards speaking with
Yeah.
them for a spring. Spring has arrived. and So
Absolutely.
has new life and make it that kind of a theme with Easter.
Sure.
Anyways,
Sure, I could work out something there. And there was another, boy, I think of all these things, and if I don't write them down, they're just gone, absolutely gone. But there's just so much out there. And you guys know your town better, and there are artists and writers here that you think might come in and speak. People I was talking about Thursday Morning Club has and I keep saying impersonator, third person reenactment of a famous person. That's always fascinating.
oh, who does that?
I was trying to get the name
Yeah.
from the Thursday Morning Club.
Neither one of us can remember the
Oh,
name.
that sounds wonderful.
And everybody raved over. I didn't see it because I had to work, but they were in the building and they raved about it.
Oh, so between the two of you, we'll get that person's name.
I
Yeah.
get the contact, yeah.
Yes, I can ask
Would you ask
Thursday
Maureen? Yeah,
morning.
thank you, yeah.
And we don't have to limit that to our quarterly luncheon. We can always just have a speaker come in and serve coffee and refreshments and, we don't have to limit ourselves. And then, of course, we still would like for our quarterly to have entertainment of some sort.
Look over at Jack.
With Jack. They all love Jack. So we'll still continue on that theme. And Jack still goes to Heaton, correct?
Yes.
I'm due there January 25th.
Okay,
We
good to
do
know.
focus
January,
of folk rock.
folk rock?
Folk rock.
Oh, cool.
Will that be continuing?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So we'll schedule them then.
Okay, so we fund that. That's not from your budget. That's
That
from
is.
our budget.
That is correct.
Okay,
Though I do the snacks and stuff now in the,
okay,
yes.
okay. Okay,
That's
sounds
all I
good.
have.
That's all you have?
When is the next
Unless you have
lunch?
questions?
When is the next luncheon?
Oh, gosh.
The next luncheon you had to ask.
I know, we all have to look at it.
We have it right here. Wednesday, February 21st.
Yes.
And it's announced as a special Valentine's luncheon, but of course, it's the third Wednesday of the month. After it's post Valentine's, but we're all okay with that, right? And you never know if there's going to be a snowstorm on Valentine's, so we'll have it on the 21st with a special dessert of some sort, which I have not nailed down that yet.
Did you want to change the pizza to something?
Yeah, we were, Polly and I were discussing maybe not making it as informal as pizza, but when we arranged this was shortly after we had our last luncheon and we like lasagna and blah, blah, blah. So we kind of decided, let's go easy and just get pizza. But everybody good with that?
Yep.
Pizza and a special dessert, and maybe we'll have a salad with it this time. For those that
Enough salad.
enough salad this time, yes. Maybe I'll go pick up the salad bar. Okay,
It worked.
all right.
It did, barely, but it worked. You guys were good.
All right, so do we approve her report?
We didn't last month.
No, okay. Chris is really foggy here, more foggier than usual. Okay, old business, Meals on Wheels, we kind of just discussed that, didn't we?
Yeah, so I apologize. I thought
No, it's
that
okay.
when she came up the stairs that day, she had told me, so I had assumed that word that she had told you.
Okay, well, it was an offer, she offered, and I said, oh, no, no, no. I said, I think they would enjoy, no, I mean, I don't want them to just not show up. So we'll kind of phase, but, so I will be there tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, new business. Outreach is something that I've always been interested in. I think we have, as a board, have been interested in outreach and how to contact those folks that, that are housebound, that nobody really is aware of. How do we, and Polly, what are your thoughts on that, having done it in the past in Great Barrington?
One thing I was thinking, does the library have a special spot, a little section that might consider putting our newsletter and maybe a little informational, tiny little spot?
Yeah, yes, there is.
Okay, that'd be one thing we could consider. And then passing out these flyers in strategic places, which there's very few in Stockbridge.
Right.
But there's others, maybe Berkshire South, if they'll let us. I'm not sure if they will.
That would be generous of them.
Well, we posted some of their stuff quite a bit. But there's grants out there that can hire somebody, if we get one next year, to actually goes into the homes and visits.
An outreach person, yes,
Actually,
and I know,
person that does that.
did you have an outreach person in Great
I
Barrington?
did off and on. I had an outreach grant.
Oh.
Sometimes outreach grant can be an actual a paid person, staff
Right,
person.
right.
Or it could just be mailings and costs of putting things in the paper, which is another thing. We should probably do shopper's guide,
I'm thinking,
list of activities.
is it legit if we had someone do that, or a volunteer that's trustworthy, to make phone calls? Say 5 calls a day?
Definitely
to say, hey, I see, do you know that our senior center is back and running, and what services they can offer to you? What are you in need of? Can we do that and say, do 5 people a week?
I would call it more of a well-check call.
Right,
And within that well-check call, they're not, then it's being kind of clinical, they're being just checking on, and that's when the questions will come up as, well, you might want to go to bingo if you're lonely, or you might want to do something like that. And then there's always the police station. I don't know if the police station will allow people that want to call,
that will allow what?
that might want a daily call, if they're willing, if they have the time, a daily call.
Right,
There's some people that are housebound, and just having one person, if the police station can't do it, then possibly a volunteer. How are you? Are you okay? If they don't answer, then you do a well check.
right.
So we could put that out. If
Well,
someone would
and
like
that's
that
the
list.
beauty of promoting Meals on Wheels to those kind of people.
Right.
Because then there's someone dropping in on them every day
It's true.
and
But,
assessing how they're doing.
but it's actually, I think the ones I'm most worried about are the ones that don't get Meals on Wheels.
Right.
And there's a lot out there.
Right.
They might not want to call, I don't know. But we could certainly get a group of volunteers to do well check calls.
So we can, okay.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. You have to vet, I would vet the volunteers. I don't know
Exactly.
if Stockbridge has a volunteer form, to be a volunteer. Because there's typically, they need to go through a vetting process a little bit.
And a query check and.
Right,
yeah.
they really should. Not a heavy-duty one, but just make sure.
Right,
So I think that'd be a great way to get a hold of people. Then you got to get their numbers.
right,
Which is a whole nother, they're gonna have to call. If they get the mailings, you want to be on this list to have a well check call. be happy to put you on there. And I know there are people that really do want to get that, even if it's just a talk,
Exactly.
hello, somebody's out there.
Exactly. And then if anything is, we'll have those volunteers, that volunteer document each call. And then if you feel that it's beyond us and should be referred to elder services, then it moves on from there.
That's right.
Okay. I think it's worth pursuing. How do you all feel?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay. Who makes that so? You, Polly?
I can get the volunteer. Yes, yes, Polly will make it so.
You go, Polly.
You're welcome. Yes.
All righty. Now we have the Emergency Management Director, Scott Muir. Welcome, Scott. Come on up.
Sit here.
I'm going to come up because I'm a little hard of hearing today, so come a little closer. So I asked to come in to talk to Council on Aging, mainly to connect. I know several of you already outside of this, but because you have a role within emergency management as a Council on Aging. Somewhat of a volunteer role, like there's nothing that I can say you have to do X, Y, Z. But especially when it comes to things like sheltering, the senior center, I do not have a written plan yet, but the senior center is a big section of any sheltering that we do. Warming and cooling shelters, that is the spot that we are using. If we have to open an emergency housing shelter, not only are we now gym, kitchen, senior center, there's a whole host of things that go into it. So one of the things I wanted to ask, especially in regards to the kitchen, I haven't been in the kitchen in a very long time, so I'm not sure what's down there. But if you at any time have any needs in the kitchen, just keep me in the loop. I'm constantly looking out for grants or money or anything. No promises, because the grants I've received lately, the state has a very unique authorized equipment list. So I can't say, oh, I'm going to get a grant. What can we use it for? I have to wait to see what they will allow me to use it for. But it's just one of the things I've had in the back of my mind, that if something's needed, because it not only benefits you, but it benefits emergency management too, for if we have to use it. I may also call on COA if we have to open shelters as volunteers.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
I do not have an official shelter management team yet. Thankfully, Michael's not here because he'd probably get after me about that. But it will be something I put together soon, just to have a group that if we do have to open a shelter, I know will be there, other than coercing my family
All the time.
to help out.
I would be happy to be on that list.
So that is
Me too.
I'd be coming for. One of the other things which ties into the well checks that you were discussing, I would like to, working with police and fire and COA, just start to come up with a database of people with access and functional needs. That's one of the big topics right now in emergency management when it comes to planning, because they're often overlooked. And you say, oh, we're going to evacuate and we're going to do this, but you don't take into account those people with mobility issues or have access to vehicles or, maybe can't evacuate. Things in power outages, people with durable medical equipment, who's on oxygen, we have people with home dialysis units now. Those types of information is really important to emergency management because we have limited resources in Stockbridge and we need to know where to send them. So if we know we have people who are going to need help, we can detail some firefighters to go there, make sure they have power, make sure they're all set. See if we have to open a shelter or get them out of there due to a flooding issue or whatever. So that's something I'm going to be looking to do. I haven't talked to the police department yet. They may have a list started. And if they do, then, maybe have access. It's not a list. People are sometimes worried, what are you going to do with the information? It's not an open list that's available to everybody. We don't publish it. Very limited access to it, but it allows us, if there's an emergency, to determine, I kind of call it triage. Who do we go to first? And then the final thing I just wanted to talk about, I've talked to Polly a little bit about this, are classes that could be offered. Not only for emergency management, I'm also one of the full-time firefighter, EMTs. We've talked about CPR, offering that, both a certification course and for those people who may not be able to get down on the ground and do it, but also just show how to do it, what to do, they can coach someone through it. I recently became a Stop the Bleed instructor, which is an interesting little course. It's unfortunate we need to do that stuff nowadays, but it's good knowledge to have. There is a course out there called What to Do Till Help Arrives. I'm still looking into that because we have a very good response system in the town, but when it's your emergency, that time frame seems forever. And I've been on the other end of that going, where is everybody? So if people know what they can do until help arrives, anything from how to treat people to what information we're going to be looking for. There's also, if there's interest, the State Office on Disability has an emergency preparedness class. Right now, everything is waitlisted, so I don't know what their status is, but if there is interest, if we think that's something we could bring, even if we go in with other council on agings, because I don't know if there's a requirement for the number of people they want to teach, but it brings together the state and interested parties and first responders and kind of gets people on the same page with what's out there and what's available. So that's my spiel. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I do.
I'm always up at the fire station if people need me.
Are you full-time?
I am full-time 8 to 4, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And then I'm volunteer outside of that.
Okay.
Quick question.
Yep.
Is there a generator in this building?
This is, this building does have a generator,
Yeah.
but it is not a whole building generator.
Okay, so just lights up the hall?
The police station, the gym, the emergency lighting, I believe the senior center and the kitchen.
In the kitchen, you would need the kitchen.
Basically stuff that we would need for shelter.
Okay.
Right.
But all the offices
Okay.
in the hallway, all our tenants, both up and down, no.
Okay, well, that, what you just said is what you need anyway.
Yes.
So I was-
Right.
So, and in the gym, it's not every plug, but there are red plugs that are connected to the generator.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Is the generator in back with all the,
It's over on the tennis court side of the building.
oh, okay.
Toward the front. Very large box right towards the front.
Okay.
Does test once a week, but
Oh.
I don't know when anymore.
Okay. Any other questions? It was interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Scott.
Yeah, we'll definitely put out an offer for the CPR, either demo or actual course, which is, takes a little bit. I think
Right.
mine is about run out.
Ah,
All I can remember is the song. What's that song? It's gone. Oh, it's a famous song to the beat of CPR.
oh, when I
Right,
learned,
Yeah, I can't,
oh, back when I learned CPR.
Oh, it's all changed.
They didn't have that song. Oh, back then when I learned how to do
it-
it. I don't recall the song.
probably-
just
I
the
can't think of the
numbers.
name of it. Everybody knows the song. And it's just,
Okay.
so I remember it, so I can at least do the tempo. Anyway,
All right.
it's great to know about the shelter.
Yes, yes. And you know, you never think you're going to need one, but once again, I'll mention my past town. We, in 2011, we had the ice storm. And we were without electricity, power, everything, 11 days and
Oh,
longer.
my goodness.
I was 11 days. There were other people that were longer. And I have to say, the senior center, we had a beautiful separate building, but there was such a need that it was in our middle school gym.
Yeah.
And there were beds and cots and everything set up down hallways in the gym. We had family, elderly, and it was all a volunteer basis for the kitchen staff, for tending to people. We all volunteered. It was amazing how people without their own power would go in to help those more in need. were in need. And there were people there offering sitting so parents could still go to their jobs. It's a beautiful thing when you're under an emergency. And when Scott speaks of things like that, you think you'll never need it. But this was an October simple storm.
October storm.
That turned into something massive. Oh, we had news crews from Boston and, we were quite the stars. Believe it or not, I stayed in the background. I didn't sit there and say. Anyway, so that's very, very good information that you think you'll never need, but you never know. Okay, open forum.
What do you got for us, Jack? Anything?
I would like to take a moment to publicly say it is so good to see a COA board operating so positively and see that there's so much hope for the future. It's just very uplifting.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, that means a lot. Yeah,
I wasn't paid to say that either.
We have had our struggles and I'm sure it shows in the demeanor of all of us that we're in a good place right now.
We are.
We are in a good place right now. So thanks, Jack. And thanks for coming and attending. Thanks.
Pleasure, yeah. And for entertainment for the February, Polly and I have talked that I'll be acting as MC.
Okay.
And asking questions of the violoncello maker and also just introducing the tap dancers.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
being ready to go myself in case you need more time to prepare the meal.
No preparing this time. Only if we have to go get more pizza. All right, our next meeting, tentatively on Valentine's Day,
That should say 2024.
2024, yes,
Try to
yes,
remember that.
yes. Anybody have anything else? Good. Shall we call this meeting, a motion to close the meeting?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.